Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Cocoa Nomad channel where I share information and inspiration and motivation around remote work and travel. So if you're here for that, I'm glad to help and share anything that I can about my journey if it can help you along the way in yours. And today I am doing yet another cost of living video. So we are back. I've been here in Antigua, Guatemala for a month, so I managed to do my numbers for the month of May, and I'm sharing my cost of living, kind of give you an idea. Keep in mind that everybody's travel style is different. Some people prefer more luxury, some people are more budget travelers, some people spend more money on food and drinks, some people don't drink at all, some people have different diets, some people like to do lots of excursions, some people don't. So I'm just sharing mine, and I'll give you some of the insights along the way as to how I travel and how I live. So the first category that I have is rent. So I'm here inside of my Airbnb condo for a couple of months, and the cost is an average of 771 a month, which is actually a lot less expensive than what I was spending in Playa del Carmen. But I may have mentioned this in the previous video. If you want to check out my Playa del Carmen cost of living, that those costs were a bit higher for a few reasons. I was there during the high season, and more people are going there, so it's definitely on the radar for lots of expats and digital nomads and travelers. So the prices that I was able to get in 2019 2018, just not able to get. But it was a really nice apartment. It had all the amenities. This one's very similar. This one's actually larger. I absolutely love this condo. I'm staying in the El Marquez in Guatemala and Antigua, and I just really love the apartment. It includes internet and all the utilities. I actually have a washer and dryer, and unlike the apartment in Playa del Carmen, which I still love to have modern washer and dryer, but it was a combo, which meant that the dryer didn't work really well. But this one actually has a proper dryer. I'm pointing behind me as if you can see it. Now I've got the background because I didn't really want to display the rest of the room here because I'm in the kitchen. This has better audio, so that's what I have to do until I can find a better place to record. But $771 is my average monthly cost for the apartment. The internet is very, very problematic here in Antigua. It's a UNESCO site, the whole town. So when they were planning and laying it out, they did not get permission to lay fiber, apparently. And so there's a limit to the speeds of internets within the city limits inside of the town itself. And that means that I actually incur a little more cost that I'll go over a little bit later. The second one is my second big expense, and it's actually really big. It should have been a bit lower this month, and that is my food costs and home costs. I include like any home purchases and things like I need to do for the apartment inside of this as well. But it was $747, almost as much as I paid for rent. And the reason for that was I've been ordering a lot of food, takeout to go and dining, getting delivery via Uber Eats, and those foods and places I've been ordering is a bit more expensive than I would be paying in Playa del Carmen, Mexico, or in Colombia. And then when I add on the tip and delivery, it's a lot of rain, get quite a bit of rain here, and a lot of days I'm working out in the apartment. I don't even go to the workspace all the time, so I'm spending a lot more time here working, and so I'm just ordering food. I'm going to address this though this month because it is a bit much even for me, and so June, definitely not eating out as much. Definitely won't be eating as much of the kinds of food I was eating. And there are more fasting days. I've already started doing a lot more fasting this month in June. So to kick that off, there'll definitely be fewer days of eating. I'll probably normally I try to do like 16 and 8 in terms of intermittent fasting. But there'll probably be quite a few like 22 or 24 hour, maybe even 36-hour month fast during the month of June. I've got to lose a bit of this gut here, so we'll see how that goes. And then the next highest category is travel. And I don't always include these, and I decided I probably should because I still have to pay to get from location to location. So my total travel cost to get from my apartment in Playa del Carmen to this apartment here was $340. That includes the flight, that includes the transfer between apartments, that includes the PCR test that I had to get. I actually got an in-home PCR test when I was in Playa, and it was a little bit more expensive, but it was very convenient. Just came in, performed the test, and it also includes my travel day meals. So $340 all in to get from Playa del Carmen door to door to here in Antigua, Guatemala. The next one is health. So the health cost went up a bit this month, and that was because In addition to my insurance, which I have with Safety Net, which is $60 a month, I actually got a gym membership. So there's a local gym here, Health Antigua gym, that I joined for the month. So that was an additional $35, and I'm hoping to use it. I've only been one day. I do a lot of workouts at home. I'm a big fan of like HIIT training and things like that. But this gym had a heavy bag, and I saw it through the window, and instantly I was like, all right, I really need to add a heavy bag back into my workout. I don't always get a chance to do that, even at the gym that I belong to briefly in Playa. But there was Muay Thai and it's getting networking and sparring and stuff. So that was really great. There might be the opportunity to do that here. The cost for my health would go up in June. There is a personal trainer who does specialize in Muay Thai, so he actually will do like hour-long sessions. So I might take him up on that in the next month, but that means that my cost is probably going to go probably double, like $200 next month. So we'll see. The next is mobile data, and this is the biggest increase of expense that I've had since I've been traveling. Normally, I don't have to spend a lot on data because a SIM card at a low price between 6 and $15 is enough to get me by. But because the internet here is really, really wonky, I've had to rely a lot on my cell plan, my mobile data plan. I've topped it up multiple times. So my cost right now is $97, which is way higher than what I normally spend. I typically spend about $15 a month. And one of the problems is not just that I've had a lot of uploads, I've been making more videos and things like that, but I didn't realize that I started using a backup program called Backblaze to back up all of my files onto the cloud. And that was running frequently, backing up my entire system. Did not realize it was running in the background. I tried to schedule it when I thought I would be in the workspace. I do have a co-working membership, and I would just go there to do the uploads. Uploads here are incredibly slow regardless. It's actually faster on LTE, but that backup was just chewing through. So I've had to top up my mobile plan. I look up one morning, I'm like, oh wait, I just ran a backup and it was already like 5 or 6 gigs. So I just ran through my entire allotment on one of the packages that I just purchased. So I'm getting better now. I've turned off the auto backup. So now it's just manual. So I have to remember to run it just to make sure that I am at the workspace or somewhere with or I'm on Wi-Fi when it tries to run those backups. So I don't consume all my data. The next category is one that's actually lower than it should be. I mentioned my last video about cost of living that I was trying to get my donations and charitable giving up, and I had set some of them up for auto pay, but apparently the auto donation amounts didn't increase. So the only thing that was taken out this month was $62 for my donations, which I really do want to have on autopilot because I don't necessarily think about it. So I'm going to have to go and manually make some changes and then make sure that those amounts have been increased because I like to keep that at like 10% of like what I'm making for, up a given month of like so. And even beyond that, I'm just trying to set a target for 500 going forward, regardless of what the income amount is every month. We'll see how that goes. The next one is excursions. I've only done one excursion so far. I went to an eco farm, so I spent the day there, and that was $63 for that trip. It was really fun. I mentioned it in one of my weekly retrospectives. What am I working on? I milked a cow, did some zip lining. I can't get my hands on the zip lining videos. I had a GoPro and then the excursion crew, they did some videos, but I haven't been able to get those videos from them. They took some really cool angles that I wanted to share. It was a really fun day. I took a coffee making tour as well and rode horseback. So you may have seen one of those clips on my YouTube shorts of me riding a horse, wearing a bicycle helmet for some reason. So it was a fun day. I was going to go see one of the active volcanoes as well this previous month, but it stopped flowing literally the day before we were supposed to go. So we're trying to wait and see what happens there. And then the big hike of Acatenango, which is the big one that I'll be doing, and there will be lava visible there. Excuse me, is next month, and that's June. That's a group trip with a few people, some friends that I've made here. So that'll be coming in June. So the excursions will go up next month. Subscriptions actually went down. I was paying $42 a month. I dropped it down to $29 because I dropped Netflix. I will pick it up again, but then I'll end up dropping like either Disney Plus or HBO Max after I've gone through all the shows that I like. So I kept Disney because I'm a big Marvel MCU fan, and the Loki show hadn't come out yet, so I'll watch that. I'll go through the rest of the HBO Max shows, and I'll end up dropping one of those for 3 to 6 months and try to maintain about $30 for the subscriptions, because I don't watch everything, but I like to tune in and catch up on series sometimes. Education is the next one, and surprisingly, this one was zero. And it's normally I take Spanish lessons, and here's the great irony: my Spanish teacher lives right here in Antigua. I'm pretty sure I've walked past her like multiple times, but lots of people are still isolating and quarantining because of their families and things like that. So I haven't continued the lessons, whether online or in person. That will probably change in June. I definitely want to get some practice, but I do get a lot of practice speaking every day here, much more so than I did in Playa. I use Spanish pretty much every day and have involved conversations. So it's a bit better, but still good to have like the educational thing, learning and making sure I'm speaking properly, using some of these. I'm using advanced tenses, ones that don't typically use a lot, but I like to make sure that I'm speaking the language as well as I can. So here's that. And then the last one again is zero, is local transportation. And I like to keep this super low because unless I'm going across town or something like that, I walk. And that's one of my favorite things about being in Antigua. I get to walk everywhere. I do have to manage to avoid the rain. I still don't have an umbrella. I've traveled for 5.5 years now around the world without an umbrella or raincoat. I don't know how much longer it's going to last because it's probably going to rain a bit more this coming month. And I've got a couple of excursions planned. I may not be able to get away with it, but so far, Antigua's not a big city. It's a small town, and you can walk the length of it probably in less than half an hour. So I just wait out the rain. Sometimes it just gets wet. Live with it, same as I did in Playa, same as I did in Colombia. It's not that big of a deal, especially if you got the wash and dry. Just come off with everything in the wash and dry. No problem. So $0 spent for local transportation. One of the things that will change probably is I've been working out of Impact Hub co-working space here, and I wanted to try a couple of the other co-working spaces. And there's a new one that's outside of the city that does have a higher internet and some new construction. So I may be trying that on the following month. So this month it's been about $80 on the co-working space, and then next month will be a bit more. So depending on what price they give us, we're still trying to figure out that whole situation. They don't, for whatever reason, they're not really forthcoming with the information. They're brand new, so maybe they just don't understand the whole digital nomad, remote worker culture in terms of the needs there. So we're hoping to work that out, and I'm hoping to actually do a bit of another video where it's kind of profile all the places I work from while I'm here, the cafes, the co-working spaces. I'm also going to be at Selena, which is a hostel, but they also have lots of co-working spaces around Latin America and Europe now. So I kind of give you a profile of that as well in a future video if you are interested in working abroad. So this brings my total cost, ironically, of living here 1 month. It's the same as my average cost in Playa apartment. I actually thought it would be a lot cheaper, and that's on me. It's my fault. $2,210 again, the same as the previous 3 months in Mexico. But that's because I just got to get off the Uber Eats. And I realized it was too much when I'm walking down the street and Uber Eats drivers are recognizing me and waving. So I'm like, whoo, I probably need to cut down on the snacks and the late night eats, which is really what had been happening. So well, I'm definitely going to do better in June to get that cost down. If you have any questions, please drop comments, ask questions about the places I'm staying or places I'm going or anything else about being here in Antigua. I really do love it here. It was a purposeful trip to do some creative projects, and those are moving along very, very well. Here for at least another month, and then I'm probably going to take a quick trip back to the States before I hit the next destination, but that's still up in the air. There's a ton of other factors, so it takes a little bit of time. Click the like, subscribe, it really helps the channel. I will continue to do more videos like this. I have some more videos around just the remote work aspects that are coming. And I've also launched the coaching services. So I'll drop a couple of links if you are interested. Don't know where to get started, don't know how to get started. You can schedule a free 15-minute call with me, and we can just talk about a way that maybe I can help you if you need that. Or if you're already sure and you need an hour, we can just dive into solving a particular problem for you. I'm more than happy to do that too. And I'll drop a strategy call in for that. That is a paid call though, just to be full disclosure. Discovery calls, 15 minutes, are absolutely free. Just have a chat, see where you are, what your challenges are, and any way that I can possibly help you. And if we can work together moving forward, I hope you have an amazing day, and I will chat with you soon. Cheers.